Hey, my name is Thomas. I'm a consultant at CPC, the Center for Product Customization, and I'm going to explain to you how visualization and breaking down your product is the first step for you to begin your modularization journey. I'm also briefly going to show you a method that we call the interface diagram, which we normally use in the beginning when we define product modularity. Now, if you don't know CPC, then we are a consultancy located in Denmark, Copenhagen area, and we are experts working with modularity, product architectures, product complexity, product configuration, and PLM systems. If you want to know more about CPC, then go visit us at pfmp.com. Now let's jump into the video. Modularity is all about structuring and designing your product so that it's made up of decoupled building blocks with different performance and functionality, but with standardized interfaces so that you can combine them in any way to create products that meets a diverse range of customers and of course is cost efficient for R&D, operations and manufacturing. That sounds very simple, but that is of course if you have a product like the one we show here on the screen. But in real life, products are often quite complex. When the product is more complicated, so does the modularization become. There are so many factors that you need to consider and think about when deciding on how you should modularize your product and what strategy to follow. It can be very hard to understand where to start when you look at the typical product information such as bill of materials, CAD material, production sequences and so on. Especially because when you do modularization, you often want to do modularization across a range of products so that you really get the benefits of utilizing technology and all these kind of things. So you would actually need to look through a number of CAD files, a number of bill of materials, production sequence, and all these things really to get an overview. So it's really immensely complex. In CPC, we are firm believers in the expression that you cannot manage what you cannot describe. So the first thing that we would do is to create a schematic of your products that really brings everybody on the same page and really drives this cross-functional discussion that is so needed when you do modularization. We call this schematic the interface diagram because it shows the building blocks of your range of products and how these building blocks are connected through interfaces. With a product like this, we will start by looking at the CAD model and reference ourselves with manufacturing and engineering to identify potential modules, submodules, together with the smaller building blocks that we call design units, and draw these up in the interface diagram. So let's go over the interface diagram and see what it looks like. We would break down this product into its modules, such as the cabin module, the loader module together with its respective submodules. After the modules, we would break down the modules into its smaller building blocks called design units. A design unit could be this weldment vertical lift, and it could be the hydraulic cylinder vertical lift. The last step is to draw the most critical interfaces between the building blocks. Sometimes it is needed to look across modules, especially when looking at the product from a functional perspective, really to understand how functionality and performance is realized in the product. For that reason, we assign each design unit to a functional system. One example could be the hydraulic system that really spreads across the whole machine, and requirements for the hydraulic system cannot be isolated within a single module. The result of the product breakdown is the interface diagram. It is the schematic that represents your product and is overloaded to consider multiple products within a family. The interface diagram is really the foundation to begin modularization. And if you start to draw up your product right now and the modules and the products seems to be a little bit unclear, don't worry about it. It's all part of the process to become more modular. To start, we use the interface diagram to create a baseline. We need the baseline to formulate the modularity that we want to have in the future. And we use the interface diagram to capture this vision of modularity that has been formulated cross-functionally with stakeholders from both R&D, manufacturing, and in some cases also purchasing. So now that we introduced you to the interface diagram, let me just very briefly show you a few of the functionalities that we have when we work with the interface diagram and use it to facilitate workshops on modularity. If we have a workshop with a hydraulic engineering department, it would be nice to make filters on this diagram to only show what is relevant for these guys. So one option that we have is that we can filter the interface diagram here on systems, such as the hydraulic system. We also have the possibility to do the same thing on modules, or any combination of the two. And we can include or exclude the interfaces to other design units. We have a lot of filter functionalities. We can make all sorts of dynamic filters. I will not go into that in this video, but we can really tailor the information that we see in the interface diagram to fit the exact purpose of the workshop that we are going to have. The skid steer loader that we see here actually follows the modular structure from the interface diagram. And actually, we took the interface diagram and uploaded it to PLM. And as you see, the modularity of this product has now really come alive inside the PLM system. So the structure is there every day for the engineers to work with. So with this showcase on the power of visualization and the tool, the interface diagram that we use when starting up a modularity initiative, I hope that you feel inspired to think of ways to visualize your product modularity in a way that drives collaboration, understanding, and cross-functional decisions. Thanks for watching.